Ever felt like you've failed your way to success? You're not alone. In this story, we'll explore how embracing your mistakes can actually be the key to unlocking your potential and achieving your wildest dreams. The unexpected success of failure. Learning from mistakes. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, lived a young inventor named Alex. Alex had a brilliant mind and a passion for creating new things, but his path was paved with what seemed like endless failures. He'd spend weeks, sometimes months, working on a project, only for it to fall apart at the last moment. His workshop was a graveyard of half-finished gadgets and broken prototypes. Friends and family would often try to cheer him up, saying, "Don't worry, Alex, you'll get it right someday." But Alex was starting to lose hope. Learning from failure. The key to growth. One particularly frustrating evening, after his latest invention, a self-stirring coffee mug, short-circuited and blew a fuse, Alex slumped in his chair, feeling utterly defeated. He stared at the charred remains of his mug and sighed. But then, something shifted in his mind. Instead of just seeing a failure, he started to see a puzzle. Why did it short-circuit? What went wrong? He pulled out his notebook and began to jot down every single step he had taken, every material he had used, and every calculation he had made. This wasn't his usual habit. Before, he would just toss the failed project aside and move on to the next idea, hoping for a different outcome. But this time, he decided to analyze his mistake. He looked at the wiring diagram, the power source, the type of resistor he had chosen. Slowly, a realization dawned on him. He had used a component that wasn't strong enough to handle the electrical current. It was a small detail he had overlooked, but a crucial one. Turning setbacks into opportunities. This tiny insight sparked a change in Alex. He started to view each failure not as an end, but as a valuable lesson. When his automatic plant watering system leaked all over his floor, he didn't just clean it up. He studied the design of the pump, researching different seals and materials until he understood why it failed. When his voice-activated toaster refused to respond to his commands, he spent days learning about sound recognition software and coding, realizing his initial program was too simplistic. He began to reflect on every single mistake. After each setback, he would ask himself, "What did I learn from this? What can I do differently next time?" This process of self-correction became a cornerstone of his work. He started keeping a failure log, where he documented every problem and the lesson he took from it. This log became his most valuable tool, a treasure trove of insights. Over time, Alex's skills grew by leaps and bounds. He wasn't just building things, he was refining his strategies and enhancing his skills with every failure. Each broken circuit, each crumpled blueprint, each misfired experiment was an opportunity to learn something new. He wasn't afraid to experiment anymore because he knew that even if it didn't work as planned, it would teach him something important. Years passed. Alex's workshop was still a place of intense experimentation, but now, the projects that emerged from it were not just prototypes, they were groundbreaking inventions. His self-stirring mug, after countless iterations, became a sensation, and his automatic plant watering system revolutionized home gardening. His voice-activated toaster, once a joke, was now a staple in smart homes. Alex's unexpected success wasn't because he suddenly stopped making mistakes. It was because he learned to embrace them. He understood that failure wasn't the opposite of success, it was a necessary step on the path to it. By analyzing, reflecting, and turning his setbacks into opportunities, Alex didn't just achieve his wildest dreams. He exceeded them, proving that sometimes, the greatest successes are born from the ashes of our perceived failures. What failure have you learned the most from?